All right. The final question here, and the big one. Would the Steelers actually take a quarterback in round one if one fell to them? Because we're talking Shedeur Sanders. We're talking dream scenarios here. We might as well answer the big looming question of would they actually do it? And I think owners' meetings or league meetings would be the one place where, or the first place, I think, outside of the combine where things are like super solidified. Teams at this point have their draft plans. Where the combine is the beginning of all this, you start to gain traction on positions that the Steelers are actually interested in. The league meetings are, okay, we are a month out from the draft. A lot of this team is put together. Where do they go from here? How do they go from here? That's what the league meetings offer, and plenty of insight. I spoke to as many people as I can, talked to as many sources as I could. Obviously found out Aaron Rodgers and everything going on there. The question is, though, would they draft a quarterback in the first round? And to be very, very honest with you, I don't think it's likely. I think it's a possibility, but I don't think it's likely. This is what would have to happen if the Steelers were to end up doing that. For starters, it'd have to be the right guy. We just talked about that. Cam Ward's going number one. He's not even an option. Shedeur at 21, there's a conversation to be had. If you're able to trade back and Shedeur is still there, maybe you're right at the end of the first round and Jackson Dart's still there, you have that conversation. But I don't think it's likely. I really don't. You could rule out Tyler Shuck, I believe. I don't think the Steelers are going in that direction. And I don't think they're going to draft Jalen Milroe at 21 either. Everything I've been told tells me, and I have been told no. I've been told most likely not, but it's on the board. There's the conversation could be had. And that's the same with everything. I mean, I've been told that don't rule out offensive line with the 21st pick in the draft, but there's only maybe one or two names that they'd go after if they were there. When it comes to the first round in 21, the Steelers are looking at it next year. That's the dream. You want to go back to the dream scenario. That's the dream scenario. The Steelers are all in next year. They want Arch Manning. They want Nico Illuminate or whatever his name is. They want Garrett Newsom. They want one of those guys. They want somebody a year from now who could come in here and be a franchise quarterback. And they're going to go all in to go get them. So this year, it doesn't make any sense to have 2 first-round picks competing for a starting job a year from now is not what they're looking to do at all. What they're looking to do. They, like much of the NFL, do not view this year's quarterback class as a good one. They just view it as okay, talented. Even Mike Tomlin gave me an answer of, yeah, there's plenty of talent. It's interesting. And then rattled off schools like Texas and Notre Dame and Ohio State that they're scouting guys at, which tells you that they're very interested in the middle of the draft, that they are not interested in 21. They want next year. They want it to be a guy like Garrett Newsom or Max Moses or, again, Arch Manning, if for some crazy reason he comes out and they get any shot at him and they're willing to make a move for it. What would it cost? I mean, we'll dive into that a little bit more when we start to understand what's going on. But I think realistically, the Kansas City Chiefs getting Patrick Mahomes is the best example you could come up with. You move up 17 picks. That's what they did. They went from 27 to 10 to go get Patrick Mahomes. You gave up, I believe, just next year's first round pick and maybe some odds and ends. The Steelers could do that, and they'd feel very comfortable with that. I think they can move up less spots and go up 10 spots and give up a first, a second, and a couple of thirds and be okay. I think next year they're ready to sell house. And by that, you allow yourself to look at this year and say, go get Kenneth Grant, go get a running back. Make sure that, you could try to figure out George Pickens and DK Metcalf. Maybe You get lucky with a guy like Tyler Warren who falls to 21, who I do not think is going to, but if he did, do not take your eyes off the board because I think it could be a possibility. All of those guys. This is the year where you go all in on everything else so that next year you go all in on a quarterback. And I love that idea because I think it works out way better long-term for the Steelers. Look for your short-term answer now, which is Aaron Rodgers. Go long-term next year, which is right now where we currently stand. It's a first-round quarterback and a good one and one that everybody should be concerned with or should be happy with. All right.